Dan Sheehan's Unforgettable Lions Tour Experience. Dan Sheehan's Lions Tour Experience. I've loved every moment. Dan Sheehan was warned by seasoned players like Tag Furlong and Jack Conan that touring with the Lions would be an experience beyond his wildest dreams. And they were right. Despite the large number of players and staff, over 90 at any given time, the 2025 Lions have maintained a laser-focused determination to win the series while also having a blast. No one has enjoyed it more than the world-class Sheehan, while emphasizing that the tour isn't over yet. With a 3-0 series sweep still in their sights, Sheehan gushes, "Australia has been incredible to us. The cities, the support, it's all been unbelievable. The view from Sydney, encompassing the Opera House and Harbour Bridge, only adds to the magic. It's been absolutely insane," Sheehan says, echoing the warnings from his teammates. "I've loved every second of it. Time has flown by. It feels like Perth was just yesterday." Now, Sheehan is hooked and ready for more. "I'm already looking forward to the next 4 years and hoping to be back on that plane," he says. Winning, especially the historic comeback in the last match, has certainly sweetened the experience. Those moments after the game, celebrating with the team, are unforgettable. "We stayed at the MCG for ages, creating memories that will last a lifetime," Sheehan recalls. The celebrations continued into Sunday, followed by a tough review on Monday, before shifting focus to the third test in Sydney Stadium, Australia. This series win is a testament to Farrell's ability to unite a team, no matter the size or time frame. "Farrell knows how to place the right people in the right roles," Sheehan explains. "He's all about creating a winning culture and environment. That's what stands out about him and his teams." Farrell's approach also includes embracing the players' families. "He understands that family is a big motivation for many of us," Sheehan adds. "Having my dad present my jersey for the first test was something special. It means a lot to him and to me." Sheehan's performance has been stellar, with 3 tries in 5 games on tour and 17 in 19 games this season. His unique finishing moves, including a daring dive over David Parecki and Harry Potter, have added excitement to the games. "It was a spur-of-the-moment decision," Sheehan says about the dive. "I knew you could dive in the air to score, so I went for it." As for his impressive scoring record, Sheehan says, "Scoring tries is a big part of why I love rugby. I enjoy the strategic side of the game, figuring out defenses and set-piece moves." But here's where it gets controversial. Some argue that Sheehan's unconventional scoring methods might not always align with traditional rugby tactics. What do you think? Is innovation always a good thing in sports, or should players stick to tried and true methods? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. British and Irish Lions, can they achieve a historic whitewash in Sydney? The British and Irish Lions stand at a crossroads in Sydney, where a 3-0 whitewash could redefine their legacy. The last time they achieved such a feat was in 1927, when they defeated Argentina 4-0. Now, with the chance to replicate that dominance, the Lions face a pivotal moment. Their 1974 tour to South Africa, which ended in a controversial 13-13 draw, prevented it from being classified as a whitewash, highlighting the complexity of the task ahead. Since 1927, the Lions have claimed 3 2-0 series victories over Australia, 1950, 1959, 1966, but all came on tours combined with New Zealand, where they also lost tests to the All Blacks. This history of mixed results underscores the challenge of securing a clean sweep. Each 3-test series against Australia has ended 2-1. with 2 decided in 1989 and 2013 and 1 in 2001. As the Lions prepare for their first test in Sydney, history hangs in the balance. How Andy Farrell's team pulled off the greatest comeback in Lions history. skysports.com/rugbyunion/news/1232187. British and Irish Lions, how Andy Farrell's side pulled off greatest comeback in Lions history to win Australia series. Dan Sheehan, Lions want to ensure a whitewash after heat on Pollock. skysports.com/rugbyunion/news/12321-1342187. British and Irish Lions, how Andy Farrell's side pulled off greatest comeback in Lions history to win Australia series. www.skysports.com/rugbyunion/news/16057-13403-293. British and Irish Lions saying tourists want to make sure of Australia whitewash after heat on Henry Pollock. Noli Waterman, Lions moments that live in history now include women. Stream Lions series with no contract. www.nowtv.com/sportspurchase. DCMP equals ILC Sky Sports Rugby Union blog link. Sky Sports Digital in Australia. howdengroup.com/UK-EN referral. UTM campaigns Sky Sports. Farrell aims to clinch a 3-0 whitewash. In 1997, the coaching duo secured a 2-1 victory over the Springboks. But the third test mattered little due to history already being set. South Africa won the third test 35-16. Yet the Lions' 2-1 triumph remains their greatest achievement. The Lions' focus remains on winning every game, as head coach Andy Farrell emphasizes. A week before the first test, Henry Pollock confirmed the squad's goal, a 3-0 whitewash. Though heated at the time, the Lions now sit one test away from securing it. The team's strategy hinges on executing their plan. Back three changes are unlikely, but the back three may shift. Wings, Tommy Freeman and James Lowe have struggled this tour, though injuries have kept them in the test side. Blair Kinghorn and Mac Hansen are likely to start, with Kinghorn replacing Lowe at the left wing. The decision to bring in Kinghorn, Scotland's first-choice fullback, highlights the tactical depth. Analysts debate the path forward. Two-time Lions guest and Sky Sports analyst Dan Bigger notes, the Lions have too many winners in their setup to take a break. They'll seek a 3-0 finish, possibly with minimal changes. Australia's challenges remain. Sky Sports Bigger suggests the Wallabies may adapt, needing fresh bodies and energy after a disappointing performance. The Lions' physical and emotional readiness could tip the scales. The Lions Tour of Australia will be exclusively shown on Sky Sports, with all 3 tests and 7 warm-up matches live. The schedule includes matches against Argentina, the Western Force, Queensland Reds, NSW Waratahs, ACT Brumbies, and the Invitational AU-NZ Series. Howden Insurance, the principal sponsor, supports the Lions. The tour marks a significant step in the team's journey, blending tradition with innovation. Finn Russell's quest, a 3-0 series win for the British and Irish Lions in 2025. Is there anything more exhilarating than clawing victory from the jaws of defeat, just when the world is ready to write you off? That's exactly where Finn Russell and the British-Irish Lions found themselves after their epic 29-26 triumph over Australia in the second test. A win that not only clinched the series, but also sent shockwaves through rugby's global fan base. But here's where things really heat up. Russell isn't just satisfied with a series win. He's setting his sights on a clean 3-0 sweep. Something so rare and ambitious, it sparks both admiration and debate among supporters and critics alike. It all unfolded in the bowels of the Melbourne Cricket Ground, in those surreal moments after the final whistle. As players milled around, Finn Russell emerged, grinning in a borrowed Wallabies jersey, a snug fit, prompting playful banter with Australia's Tom Lynott over the sizing. The camaraderie between opponents was evident as the two fly halves chatted, swapping stories and the symbols of a hard-fought duel. Earlier in the tour, Russell dazzled the crowds with dynamic attack, sharp defense, and his remarkable ability to orchestrate the backline, often making the complex look effortless. Yet Saturday's clash was a different beast, gritty, high pressure, and often scrappy. Australia, reinvigorated and supported by a roaring home crowd, kept the Lions on their heels. Russell's usually reliable goal-kicking faltered. Was this a sign of nerves? Far from it. Surely you guys know by now. If I miss a conversion, it's not the end of the world, Russell joked to reporters, displaying the calm confidence that defines him. And here's the part most people miss. When the game reached its nail-biting climax, with 2 minutes left and the Lions trailing by 2 points, Russell didn't flinch. He took command, led his team downfield, and unleashed a sequence of play that left not just Wallabies defenders, but the whole stadium breathless. A diagonal run, a fend on Joseph Suaalii, and an audacious over-the-head pass eliminated 2 defenders and set up Blair Kinghorn, culminating in Hugo Keenan's match-winning try. What was Russell thinking in those high-stakes seconds? Pretty chilled, pretty calm, he confessed, crediting the team's composure and focus when it mattered most. Off the field, Russell was a curious sight, relaxed, chocolate garland around his neck, a gift from teammate Sione Tuipulotu, celebrating Polynesian friendship, and happy to explain the significance to curious onlookers, especially since his young daughter seemed particularly fascinated by the treat. Even in the glow of victory, Russell seemed genuinely unaware of the magnitude of what he'd achieved. Did he realize the Lions had mounted their greatest ever comeback? Or that this win marked his 15th straight victory this season? Not at all. In fact, prior to this run, his longest winning streak dated back a decade, a reminder of just how far he's come. Everyone's been dreaming of this their entire careers, Russell said, his respect for the Lions tradition clear. For a player now on his 3rd Lions tour, but his first series win, the sense of fulfillment runs deep. Bringing 4 nations together to become a family, even if just for a few weeks, there's nothing else like it. But it's not time to relax just yet. We have to finish, go out with one last big win. And this is where the controversy often surfaces. Some insist Russell is still a maverick, flamboyant but inconsistent. But doesn't this tour prove he's evolved? Beyond flashes of genius, his all-around game management, defense, and mental resilience mark him as one of rugby's most complete fly-halves. If you ask fans in Scotland, Russell hasn't just shrugged off the maverick tag, he's shattered it. It's impossible not to reflect on Russell's tumultuous journey to this peak. Just a few years ago, his fractious relationship with coach Gregor Townsend caused a shock. So much so, some wondered if Russell's international career might be over. Remember the 2020 spring fallout and the 2022 episode when Russell was left out of the Scottish team in favor of others? At the time, many, perhaps even Russell himself, doubted they'd ever see him in a Lions jersey again. Yet, through reconciliation and sheer determination, he stormed back to the summit. Russell calls his journey with the Lions mad, beginning as a last-minute replacement in 2017. Seeing action only in the dying moments of the South Africa series 4 years later, and now, finally, starring at the heart of historic success. You can't always look back and wish for different breaks, he reflected. Every bit of this is special. Every time you're called up for the Lions, it's a privilege. With titles at Bath, including the Premiership and European Challenge Cup, and this unforgettable Lions campaign under his belt, Russell admits the full weight of the achievement may only sink in with time. For now, He's simply savoring the moment and setting his sights on one more milestone, completing a legendary 3-0 series and 9-0 tour, something last achieved by the Lions almost a century ago. In Argentina in 1927. "Sydney is the last stop," Russell said with unmistakable anticipation. "Everyone wants to be a part of history. When we regroup on Monday, we'll be recharged and ready. A 3-0 win, that'd be phenomenal. You can bet every one of us is determined to make it happen." But do you agree that Russell deserves to be hailed as the most complete fly half of his generation? Or does the Maverick label still fit? Maybe you believe calling for a 3-0 clean sweep is needlessly risky, tempting fate when victory is already secure. Either way, this debate is far from settled, so let's hear where you stand in the comments. Is Russell the leader the Lions always needed, or does the story still have more twists ahead?